Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to the episode 21 of Mahabharata Reading Challenge. Congratulations, we are on day 21 today, and I hope you guys are reading along with me. And today we are finishing with Mahabharata, which is being retold by C. Rajagopalachari. So, we are very thankful to him for this version of Mahabharata. And like always, we are going to start with the prayers. Firstly, for Hanuman ji. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुरु सुधारी बरनऊ रघुवर बिमल जसु जो दायकु फल चारी. Having polished the mirror of my heart with the dust of my Guru's lotus feet, I recite the divine fame of the greatest king of Raghukul dynasty, which bestows us with the fruits of all the four efforts. बुद्धहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार. Knowing that this mind of mine has less intelligence, I remember the son of wind who, granting me strength, wisdom, and all kinds of knowledge, removes all my suffering and shortcomings. निश्चय प्रेम प्रतीत ते बिने करे सन्मान तेहि के कारज सकल शुभ सिद्ध करे हनुमान. जय हनुमंत संत हितकारी सुन लीजिए प्रभु अर्ज हमारी जन के काज विलम्ब न कीजिए आतुर दौर महासुख दीजिए. आंखें देखे मौन मुख सहा कहा नहीं जाए लेख विधाता का लिखा कौन किसे समझाए कौन किसे समझाए. वचन दिया सोचा नहीं होगा क्या परिणाम सोच समझकर कीजिए जीवन में हर काम. जीवन को समझा रहा जिया हुआ इतिहास जब तक तन में श्वास है तब तक मन में आस तब तक मन में आस. आस कह रही श्वास से धीरज धरना सीख मांगे बिन मोती मिले मांगे मिले न भीख मांगे मिले न भीख. है कथा संग्राम की विश्व के कल्याण की धर्म अधर्म आदि अनंत सत्य असत्य कलेश कलंक स्वार्थ की कथा परमार्थ की. शक्ति है भक्ति है जन्मों की मुक्ति है जीवन का ये संपूर्ण सार है. युग युग से कण कण में सृष्टि के दर्पण में वेदों की कथा अपार है. धर्मों की गाथा है देवों की भाषा है सदियों के इतिहास का प्रमाण है. कृष्णा की महिमा है गीता की गरिमा है ग्रंथों का ग्रंथ ये महान है. महाभारत महाभारत महाभारत. सुख करता दुख हरता वार्ता विघ्नाची हो वार्ता विघ्नाची. नुरवी पूर्वी प्रेम कृपाया जायाची सर्वांगी सुंदर उतिशेंदुराची हो उतिशेंदुराची. कांठी झालके माल मुक्ता फलहांची जय देव जय मंगल मूर्ति जय देव जय मंगल मूर्ति. दर्शन मात्रे मन कामना पूर्ति जय देव जय मंगल मूर्ति हो श्री मंगल मूर्ति. दर्शन मात्रे मन कामना पूर्ति जय देव जय मंगल मूर्ति. Think him as Vishnu while taking medicines, as Janardhan while eating food, as Padmanabha while in bed, as Prajapati at the time of marriage, as Chakradhara while engaged in war, as Trivikrama while on travel, as Narayana on deathbed, as Sridhara while meeting with the beloved, as Govinda while tossing with the bad dreams, as Madhusudan while in troubles, as Narsimhaya while in the forest, as Jalasayana while fire is ravaging, as Vara while struggling in water, as Raghunandan while lost in a mountain, as Vamana while on the move, and as Madhav while doing everything. यह तो प्रेम की बात है उदो बंदगी तेरे बस की नहीं है. यहाँ सर्दी के होते हैं सौदे आशिकी इतनी सस्ती नहीं है. प्रेम वालों ने कब वक्त पूछा उनकी पूजा में सुन ले उदो. यहाँ दम दम में होती है पूजा सर झुकाने की फुर्सत नहीं है. जो असल में है मस्ती में डूबे उन्हें क्या परवाह ज़िंदगी की. जो उतरती है चढ़ती है मस्ती वो हकीकत में मस्ती नहीं है. जिसकी नज़रों में है शाम प्यारे वो तो रहते हैं जग से न्यारे. जिसकी नज़रों में मोहन समाए वो नज़रें फिर तरसती नहीं है. कर्पूर गौरम करुणा अवतारम संसार सारम भुजगेंद्र हारम सदा वसंतम हृदय रविंदे भवम भवानी सहितम नमामि. I bow to Bhavani as well as to Lord Shiva, who is white as camphor, who is compassion incarnate, who is the sense of the world, who wears a garland of large snake, and who always dwells in the lotus-like hearts of his devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare। जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, अपने सुख दुख को हे ठाकुर मैं रो रो कर तुम्हें सुनाता हूँ। जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, तुम मेरे हो मैं तेरा हूँ, बस और नहीं कुछ याद मुझे, ये ध्यान सदा मेरे मन में रहे, यह विनय सुनाने आया हूँ। जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, अपने सुख दुख को हे ठाकुर मैं रो रो कर तुम्हें सुनाता हूँ। फूलों में तुम्हारी खुशबू है, पत्तों में तुम्हारी हस्ती है, पर फूल नहीं है पास मेरे, बस दो नयन चढ़ाने आया हूँ। जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, अपने सुख दुख को हे ठाकुर मैं रो रो कर तुम्हें सुनाता हूँ। तुम मेरे प्यारे सावरिया, मेरा तुमसे हमेशा नाता है, नहीं और मेरी कोई सुनता है, मैं तुम्हें सुनाने आया हूँ। जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, अपने सुख दुख को हे ठाकुर मैं रो रो कर तुम्हें सुनाता हूँ। मंगल मूर्ति मारुति नंदन, सकल अमंगल मूल निकंदन, पवन तनय संतन हितकारी, हृदय विराजत अवध बिहारी, जय 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 बजरंग बली, महावीर हनुमान गोसाई। नटखट बंसी वाले गोकुल के राजा, मेरी अखियाँ तरस गई अब तो आजा आजा। नटखट बंसी वाले गोकुल के राजा, मेरी अखियाँ तरस गई अब तो आजा आजा। गोपी जन रास रास अभिलाषी, कौरव कालिंग कंस विनाशी, हिमकार बाणुक सम प्रकाशी, सर्व बहुथी वस वैयाखी, बोलो जय कन्हैया लाल की। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम, अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं। कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं। कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं। कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं। कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं। नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो, हर समय कृष्ण का ध्यान करते चलो। नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो, हर समय कृष्ण का ध्यान करते चलो। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय महेश मुखचंद चकोरी, जय गजपदन षडानन माता, जगत जाननी दामिनी दुति गाता। देवी पूजी पद कमल तुम्हारे, सुर नर मुनि सब होए सुखारे। मोर मनोरथ जानहु नीके, बसहु सदा उर पुर सुबही के। कीन्हो प्रगट न कारण तेहि, अस कही चरण गहे बैदही। जय गजपदन षडानन माता, जगत जाननी दामिनी दुति गाता। बिने प्रेम बसु भई भवानी, खसी माल मूरत मुस्कानी। सादर प्रिय प्रसाद सर दरहु, बोली गौरी हर्ष यो भरहु। सुनो सिय सत्य असीस हमारी, पूजहि मन कामना तुम्हारी। नारद बचन सदा सुचि साचा, 100 बार मिलो जाहि मनुराचा। जय गजपदन षडानन माता जगत जननी दामिनी दुति गाता। नहीं तव आदि मध्य अवसाना, अमित प्रभाव वेद नहीं जाना। भव भव विभव पराभव कारिणी, विश्व विमोहिनी स्वबस बिहारिणी। पति देवता स्तुति महु, मात प्रथम तव रेखा। महिमा अमित न सकहि कही, सहस शारदा शेष। सोवत तुहि सुलभ फलचारी, बरदायिनी पुरारी प्यारी। मोर मनोरथ जानहु नीके, बसहु सदा उरपुर सभी के। कीनो प्रकट न कारण, तेहि अस कही चरण गहे बैदही। जय जय गिरिवर राज किशोरी, जय महेश मुखचंद चकोरी। जय गजबदन षडानन माता जगत जननी दामिनी दुति गाता। जननी में रामदूत हनुमान, जननी में रामदूत हनुमान। चरण कमल में शत शत वंदन, कर दो माँ कल्याण। मिला है अवसर आज महान, जननी में रामदूत हनुमान। चमके कोटि सूर्य सम रघुवर, शीत चंद्र सी वाणी मधुकर। करके रावण हरण तुम्हारा, किया मृत्यु आह्वान। सत्य वचन कहता माँ सीता, हर पल प्रभु को तुमरी चिंता। अश्रु नयन में झरत निरंतन, व्याकुल है श्री राम। जननी में रामदूत हनुमान, जननी में रामदूत हनुमान। माघ मकरगत रवि जब हुई, तीरथ पतहि आव सब कोई। देव धनुज किन्नर नर श्रेणी, सादर मझई सकल त्रिवेणी। माघ में जब सूर्य मकर राशि पर आते हैं, तब सब लोग तीर्थराज प्रयाग को आते हैं। देवता दैत्य किन्नर और मनुष्य के समूह सब आदर पूर्वक त्रिवेणी में स्नान करते हैं। वर्णानम अर्था संगनानम, रासनानम चंद समापी। मंगलानम च करतौ, विंदे वाणी विनायको। तुलसीदास जी विनय और वंदना करते हैं। हे अक्षरों को बनाने वाली, उनके अर्थों को बनाने वाली, उन्हें समझाने वाली। इन अक्षरों से जो 9 रस प्रदान होते हैं, उनको बनाने वाली, छंदों को बनाने वाली, जिनकी कृपा और आशीर्वाद के बिना हमारी इस अपार रचना सफल नहीं हो पाएगी। माता सरस्वती और श्री गणेश प्रभु, मैं आप दोनों को प्रणाम और वंदना करती हूँ। भय कुभय अनक आलस हो, नाम जपत मंगल दिसि दसहु। सुमिरो सो नाम राम गुण गाथा, करहु नाही रघुनाथई माथा। अच्छे भाव प्रेम से, बुरे भाव बैर से, क्रोध से, आलस्य से, किसी तरह से भी नाम जपने से 10 दिशाओं में कल्याण होता है। उसी राम नाम का स्मरण करके और रघुनाथ को मस्तक नवाकर मैं राम के गुणों का वर्णन करना चाहता हूँ। आरंभ है प्रचंड, बोलो मस्तकों के झुंड। आज जंग की घड़ी की तुम गुहार दो। आन बान शान या की जान का हो दान, आज एक धनुष के बाण पे उतार दो। मन करे सो प्राण दे, जो मन करे सो प्राण ले, वही तो सर्वशक्तिमान है। विश्व की पुकार है, ये भागवत का सार है कि युद्ध ही तो वीर का प्रमाण है। कौरवों की भीड़ हो या पांडवों का नीड़ हो, जो लड़ सका वही तो महान है। जीत की हवस नहीं, किसी पे कोई बस नहीं, क्या जिंदगी है ठोकरों पर मार दो। मौत अंत है नहीं, तो मौत से भी क्यों डरे, ये जाके आसमान में दहाड़ दो। वो दया का भाव या कि शौर्य का चुनाव, या कि हार का हो घाव, तुम ये सोच लो। या कि पूरे भाल पर जला रहे विजय का लाल लाल ये गुलाल, तुम ये सोच लो। रंग केसरी हो या मृदंग केसरी हो, या कि केसरी हो लाल, तुम ये सोच लो। जिस कवि की कल्पना में जिंदगी हो प्रेम गीत, उस कवि को आज तुम नकार दो। भीगती नसों में आज, फूलती रगों में आज, आग की लपट तुम बखार दो। आरंभ है प्रचंड, बोलो मस्तकों के झुंड। आज जंग की घड़ी की तुम गुहार दो। आन बान शान या कि जान का हो दान, आज एक धनुष के बाण पे उतार दो। आसुतो माँ सदगम्या, तमसो माँ ज्योतिर्गम्या, मृत्युर्माँ अमृताम गम्या। ओम शांति 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 शांति। Lead me from the untruth to the truth. Lead me from darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Om peace peace peace. Om सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निर्मया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कतिश्चित् दुख bhag bhavate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Oh, may we all be happy, may we all be healthy, free from disease, may we all see what is auspicious, let no one suffer. Oh, peace, peace, peace. जहाँ ले चलोगे वहीं मैं चलूँगा, जहाँ नाथ रख लोगे वहीं मैं रहूँगा। ये जीवन समर्पित चरण में तुम्हारे, तुम्हें मेरे सर्वस्व, तुम ही प्राण प्यारे, तुम्हें छोड़कर नाथ किससे कहूँगा। जहाँ ले चलोगे वहीं मैं चलूँगा। ना कोई उलाहना ना कोई अर्जी, कर लो करा लो जो है तेरी मर्जी। कहना भी होगा तो तुम्ही से कहूँगा, जहाँ ले चलोगे वहीं मैं चलूँगा। दयानाथ दयानी मेरी अवस्था तेरे हाथ, अब मेरी सारी व्यवस्था। जो भी कहोगे तुम वही मैं करूँगा, जहाँ ले चलोगे वहीं मैं चलूँगा। ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिर आदिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम. So this is from Brahma Samhita, where it's told that Krishna, who is known as Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all, he has no other origin, and he is the prime cause of all the causes. ईश्वरा परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिर आदिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम. चिंतामणि प्रकार सद्मसु कल्प वृक्षा लक्षावृतेषु सुरभीर अभिपालयन्तं लक्ष्मी सहस्र शत संभ्रमा सेव्यमानं गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तम अहम भजामि. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desires in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopi. Venum quantum Aravindaya Dalatyaksham Bharvatam Samsitam Buddh Sundarangam Kandarp Koti Kamnya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head bedecked with peacock's feather, with figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of Cupid. Alola Chandraka Lasat Vanamalya Vamshi Ratna Kadam Pranay Keli Kala Vilasam Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam Niyata Praksham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flower, beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always reveals in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Sham Sundaram is eternally manifest. Angani Yasya Saklendriye Vrittamanti Pushyanti Panti Kalyanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmay Sat Ujjwal Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who transcendental, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and thus full of most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged function of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universe, both spiritual and mundane. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Puran Purusham Navya Vunamcha Videsu Durlabham Adurlabham Atmabhaktu Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure and unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, and is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, yet he is person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. Panthastu koti shata vatsara sampragamyo vyor athapi manaso muni pungavanam sopyasti yat prapada simni avchintya tatve govindam adipurusham tamam bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayam by drilling the respiration or by jananis who try to search out the non-differentiated Brahman by process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years. Eko pyastyo rachyutam jagat ananda kotim yakchaktir asti jadat anand chaya yad ananta andantarastha pramanu Chayantarashtam Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. He is undifferentiated entity as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered through the universe at once and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. Yat bhava bhavita diyo manujas tathaiv samprapaya rupa mahima sanya sanaya nabhushasha suktiryam eva nigam prathitahe stuvanti Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas contained in Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyance, and ornaments. Ananda Chinmay Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Tabhirya Eva Nich Rupataya Kalabhi Goloka Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of ecstatic potency, possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confident Sakhi, embodiments of the extensions of her body, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. Prem, Preman, Premananjana, Premanjana, Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, Santa Sadaiv Hridayeshu Vilokyanti Yama Shyama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Sham Sundara, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their hearts of hearts with the eyes of devotion tinged with the slave of love. Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Trishtan Nana Taram Akarot Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Sambhavat Brahma Pumanyo Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the form of Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, etc. His subjective portions. Yasya prabhavato jagat anand koti kotisu ashesha vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam tat brahma nishkalam anantam ashlesha bhutam. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose effulgence whose effulgence is the source of the non-differentiated Brahman mentioned in the Upanishads, being differentiated from the infinity of glories of the mundane universe, appears as the indivisible, infinite, and limitless truth. Maya hi yasya jagat ananda shatani sute त्रैगुण्य तत् वैश्या वेदा वितायमना सत्वा वालंबी परा सत्वा विशुद्ध सत्वम गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमाम भजामी. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is the absolute substantiative principle, being the ultimate entity in the form of support of all existence, whose eternal external potency embodies the threefold mundane qualities with sattva, rajas, and tamas, and diffuse the Vedic knowledge regarding the mundane world. आनंद चिन्मय रसत्मतया मानुषा या प्राणिनम प्रतिपालम सम्रातम उपेताया लीलायतेन भुवनानि जयताई अजस्राम. Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose glory ever triumphantly dominate the mundane world by the activity of his own pastimes, being reflected in the minds of recollecting souls as the transcendental entity of ever blissful cognitive rasa. Goloka namini nijthamini talecha tasya devi mahesh hari धामेषु तेषु तेषु ते ते प्रभावा निचया विहताश चायेना. गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमाम भजामि. Lowest of all is located Devi Dhama. Next above it is Mahesh Dhama. Above Mahesh Dhama is placed Hari Dhama, and above them all is located Krishna's own realm named Goloka. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who has allotted their respective authorities to rule of these graded realms. Shrishti Sthiti Pralay Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chavyay Yasya Bhuvnani Vibharti Durga Ichanurupam Api Yasya Cheshthe Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. The external potency Maya, who is the nature of shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of these mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conduct herself. Shiram yatha dadi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi tatha prithagasti hetu. या शंभुतम आपी तथा समुपति कार्यात. गोविंदम आदि पुरुषम तमम भजामि. Just as milk is transformed into curd by the action of acid, but yet the effect curd is neither the same as nor different from its cause with milk, so I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom state of Shambhu is transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. दीपार्चिर एवा ही दशानंतारम अभ्युपपेत्या दीपायते विवृता हेतु समान धर्म यस तद्रिक एवा ही च विष्णुतया विभाति. गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमाम भजामि. The light of one candle being communicated to other candles, although it burns separately in them, is the same in its quality. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda who exhibits himself equally in the same mobile manner in his various manifestations. या करना अर्णवा जाले भेजति संयोगा निद्रामनता जगदनंद सर्वं कृपाया अधरम शक्तिम अवलंब्य परम स्वमूर्तिम गोविंदमादिपुरुषम तमहम भजामि. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda who was who assumes his own great subjective form, who bears the name of Shesha, replete with all accommodating potency and reposing the casual ocean with the infinity of the world. With the pores of his hair, he enjoys creative sleep, Yog Nidra. Yasyaki Nishvasita Kalam Athva Lambya Jivanti Lom Vilaja Jagat Danda Natha Vishnurmahansayi Yasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. Brahma and other lords of the mundane worlds appearing from the pores of hair of Mahavishnu remain alive as long as duration of one exhalation of the latter. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda of whose subjective personality Mahavishnu is a portion of portion. भास्वन यथा क्षमा शक्लेषु निजेषु तेजः स्वीयं कियत् प्रकट्य अपि तद्वद् अत्र ब्रह्म य एस् जगदण्डा विधानकर्ता गोविंदम आदिपुरुषम तमहम भजामि. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda from whom the separated subjective portion Brahma receives his power for the regulation of mundane world, just as the Supreme manifests some portion of his own light in all effulgent gems. That bear the name of Surya Kanta, etc. Yatpada Pallava Yugam Vindhya Kumbha Dvandve Pranam Samyasa Gandhari Raja Vignan Vihantam Alam Asya Jagatrasya Trayasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda whose lotus feet are always held by Ganesh upon the pair of tumuli protruding from his elephant head in order to obtain power for his function of destroying all the obstacles on the path of progress of the three worlds. Agnir Mahi Gagnam Ambu Murad Marut Disha Cha Kalastutatma Manasite Jagatrayani Yasmat Bhavanti Vibhavanti Vishanti Yamcha Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. The three worlds are composed of 9 elements viz. Fire, earth, ether, water, air, direction, time, soul, and mind. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda from whom they originate, in whom they exist, and into whom they enter at the time of universal Cataclysm. Yak Chakshur Esha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Sura Murti Rashesha Tejaha Yasya Janya Brahmati Sambrita Kala Chakro Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. The sun, who is the king of all planets, full of infinite effulgence, the image of good soul, is the eye of this world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in pursuance of whose order the sun performs his journey, mounting the wheel of time. Dharmota Papa Nishchaya Shrutya Stapamshi Brahmadi Kita Pata Gavdayascha Jiva Yadatta Matra Vibhava Prakata Prabhava Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda by whose comfort power are maintained the manifested potencies that are found to exist in all virtues, in the Vedas, in the penance and in all jivas from Brahma down to the meanest insect. Yastav Indra Gopam Atvendra Mahoswa Karma Bandhana Rupa Pahla Bhajanam Artanoti Karmani Nirdharati Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda who burns up the roots, all fruitive activities of those who are imbued with devotion and impartially ordains for each the due enjoyment of the fruits of one activity of all those who walk in the path of work in accordance with the chain of their previously performed work, no less in case of the tiny insect that bears the name of Indragopa than in that of Indra, the king of Devas. Yam Krodha Kam Sahaja Pranayadi Bhiti Vatsalya Moh Gurav Gaurava Sevya Bhavahi Sachinta Tasya Sadrisham Tanum Upuretu Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, the meditators of whom, by meditating upon him under the sway of wrath, amorous passion, natural friendly love, fear, parental affection, delusion, reverence, and willing service attain to bodily forms befitting the nature of their contemplation. Namaste Narsimha नमस्ते नरसिम्हाय प्रह्लादलादायिने हिरण्यकश्यपूर्वक्षः श्रीलतनका न कालाये इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहो बाहिर्नरसिंहो हृदय नरसिंहो नरसिंहमादिं शरणं प्रपदे तव कर कमलवरे नकाम अद्भुत श्रृंगाम दलिता हिरण्यकश्यपु तनुभृंगम केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे. So yes, friends, today we read Brahma Samhita, where it is said that Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidanand Vigra Nadir Adir Govinda Sarvakaran Karanam Chintamani Prakar Sadmasu Kalpa Vriksha Lakshavriteshu Surabhir Abhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrahma Sevyamanam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I am stopping here right now because I have to eat food now, and then I will be continuing with the reading. I will just come in some minutes, so but I am not stopping it, I am pausing it. Yes, friends, welcome back. So we are going to start with our reading, and today we are going to read about Dhritarashtra, the passing away of the three. Krishna passes away, Yudhishthir's final trial. Okay, from 103 until 106. So we are on the last day today. I hope you guys have read with me. Okay, let's get started. 103. Dhritarashtra. 15 years passed under King's Yudhishthir reign when old Dhritarashtra found himself utterly unable any longer to bear the burden of grief. Hurt by Bhima's occasional reproaches, he found no heart to accept the courtesies and comforts provided under King Yudhishthir's order. Unknown to the Pandavas, he secretly fasted and underwent heart penances. Gandhari too observed manifests and inflicted privation on her. And one day Dhritarashtra sent for Dharamputra and spoke to him thus: Son, blessings on you. I have spent 15 happy years under your roof. You have Son, blessings on you. I have spent 15 happy years under your roof. You have tended me most lovingly. I have made gifts and offerings to ancestors and fulfilled all my desires in that respect. Bereaved Gandhari, laying aside her own grief, has ministered to my physical wants all these years. My cruel sons who committed unforgivable wrong to Draupadi and deprived you of your lawful inheritance perished on account of their sins, but they fought like brave soldiers and died in the battlefield and have gone to the happy regions reserved for the brave. The time has come when with Gandhari I must do what has to be done for our next state. You know what the Shastras have lain down. I must now go to the forest. These robes must be replaced by bark and tattered old clothes, suitable for the life of one prast. I desire to go and live in the forest, praying for your good. I want your permission for this. Let me follow the practice of our fathers. As king, you will share in the fruits of my penance. Yudhishthir received a shock when he saw Dhritarashtra heard him saying this. I did not know, he said, that you had been fasting and sleeping on the bare grounds and mortifying your flesh in this manner. My brothers too were unaware of this. I was misled into believing you were well looked after and happy. Father, you have suffered grief for which there can be no solace. I see no good in kingdom or pleasures. I am a sinner. Desire and ambition deceived me into this. Let your son Yuyutsu be the king or anyone else you choose. Or if you will do so, you yourself may take up the duties of king and look after the people. I shall go to the forest. Let me terminate this chapter of error. I implore you to save me from further obloquy and burning shame. I am not the king. You are the king. You ask me for permission to go. How then can I give or refuse permission to you? Let me assure you that my anger against Duryodhan is the thing of past, gone without a trace. Fate willed it and engulfed us all in confusion of mind. Oh my god, this is so deep that faith willed it and engulfed us all in confusion of mind. And events happened which were not in our control. We are your children, even like Duryodhan and his brother. Gandhari and Kunti is alike mother to me and command equal regard and filial affection from me, their child. If you go away to the forest, I must go with you and serve you there. If you retire to the woods and leave me here, what joy shall I have in kingship? I prostrate myself before you and implore you to forgive the errors we have been guilty of. Serving you will give me true joy and peace of mind. Give me that opportunity and privilege. Do not desert me. Dhritarashtra was deeply moved, but he said, Kunti's beloved son, my mind is fixed on going to the forest and on penance. I can find no peace otherwise now. I have lived under your roof for many years. You and all your people have served me with unstinted devotion. You must permit me now to fulfill my wish and let me go. Having thus spoken to Yudhishthir, who stood with clasped hand and trembling with agitation, Dhritarashtra turned to Vidura and Kripacharya. I beg of you to comfort the king and make him grant my prayer. My mind is fixed on forest. I am unable to speak any more. I am feeling dry in my throat. Perhaps it is due to age. I have talked too much. I am tired. Saying this, he leaned helplessly on Gandhari and swooned. Yudhishthir was unable to bear this distress of grand old men who had possessed the sinews of an elephant and had strength enough to crush the metal figure of Bhima into powder. How lean he had become now and emaciated, with his bones showing through his skin, piteously leaning senseless on Gandhari like one destitute. Have I caused all this? He reproached himself. Miserable and unworthy am I, ignorant of dharma, devoid of intelligence, a curse on my learning. See, Yudhishthir is talking so like engaged in negative self talk because he was too good that Like he does not considers other people's fault, but he always reflect back and thinks that he's his fault, that it's his fault every time. I am also sometimes like this. He sprinkled water on Dhritarashtra's face and caressingly stroked him with his soft hands. When the old man recovered, he tenderly clasped the Pandavas to his bosom and muttered, "My dear boy, how sweet is your touch! I am happy." The Vyasa entered when he was acquainted with what had happened. He said to Yudhishthir, do what Dhritarashtra, eldest of Kurus, desire. Let him go to the forest. He is old, all his sons have gone before him. It is not possible for him much longer to bear his grief. Hmm. Gandhari, whom God has blessed with entitlement, has borne her sorrow with courage. Gandhari, whom God has blessed with entitlement, has borne her sorrow with courage. Do not stand in the way of their wishes. Let not Dhritarashtra pine away and die here. Let him go and live among the honey laden flower of forest and breathe their fragrance, leaving the cares of the world behind. The dharma of king is to die in battle and or to spend their last days in retirement in the forest. Dhritarashtra has ruled Dhritarashtra has ruled the kingdom and performed yagnas. When you were in the wilderness for 13 years, he enjoyed the wide earth through his son and gave bounteous gift. Dhritarashtra has ruled the kingdom and performed yagnas. When you were in the wilderness for 13 years, he enjoyed the wide earth through his sons and gave bounteous gifts. You left him nothing to desire. The time has come for him to do penance. Let him go with your hearty consent and without anger in his heart. Dharamraja said, "So be it." Then Vyasa returned to his hermitage. The passing away of the three. When Yudhishthir at last gave his consent for Dhritarashtra's retirement to the forest, Dhritarashtra and Gandhari went back to their residence and broke their fast. Kunti sat with Gandhari and they ate together. Dhritarashtra asked Yudhishthir to sit by him and gave him his last blessings. Then the old man stepped out and, with his hand resting on Gandhari's shoulder, slowly walked out of the city on his journey to the forest. Gandhari, who because her lord and husband was blind, gave up the use of her eyes and wrapped her face with cloth all her life, placed her hand on Kunti's shoulder and slowly walked along, thus guided. Kunti had decided in her mind to go with Gandhari to the forest. As she walked on, she was speaking to Yudhishthir, "Son, do not ever let your speech be angry when you speak to Sahdeva. Remember with love Karna, who died a hero's death on the battlefield. He was my son, but I committed the crime of not disclosing it to you. Look after Draupadi with unfailing tenderness. Do not ever give cause for grief to Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. Keep this ever in mind, son. The burden of the family is now wholly on you." Yudhishthir has now the has now whole burden on himself. That is why he always takes mistakes of others also on his own. Dharamputra had till then believed that Kunti was accompanying Gandhari only for a distance to say goodbye. When he heard her speak thus, he was taken aback and was speechless for a few minutes. When he recovered from the shock, he said, "Mother, not thus. You blessed us and sent us to the battle. It is not right you should now desert us and go to the forest. Yudhishthir's entreaties were, however, of no avail. Kunti held to her purpose. I must join my lord and husband wherever he be now. I shall be with Gandhari and go through the discipline of forest life and soon join your father. Go back unagitated. Return to the city. May your mind ever stand steady on dharma. Thus did Kunti bless her illustrious son and depart. Yudhishthir stood speechless. Kunti went on her way, looking back occasionally at him and her other sons, each with hand on the shoulder of other. This picture of the three elders of the tribe wending their way to the forest, leaving their sons behind, is painted by a poet so vividly that it fills the reader with solemn grief, as if the parting happened in his own family now. Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and Kunti spent 3 years in the forest. Sanjaya was with them when one day Dhritarashtra finished his ablutions and returned to their hermitage. The forest had caught fire. The wind blew and the flames spread everywhere. The deer and wild boars ran in herds hither and thither and rushed madly to the pools. Dhritarashtra told Sanjaya, the fire will envelop us all. You had better save yourself. Saying this, the blind old king Gandhari, with her eyes blindfolded, and Kunti sat down on the ground, the three of them facing eastwards in yoga posture, and calmly gave themselves up to the flames. Sanjaya, who had been to the blind king throughout all his days, his only light, and was dear to him like life itself, spent the rest of his days in Himalayas as sannyasi. Krishna passes away. Krishna ruled at Dwarka for 36 years after the Kurukshetra battle was over. 36. The Vrishnis, the Bhopas, and the other branches of the Yadavas belonging to Krishna's tribe spent their day in unrestrained self indulgence and luxury. They lost all sense of discipline and humility. The Vrishnis, the Bhopas, and other branches of Yadavas belonging to Krishna's tribe spend their days in unrestrained self indulgence and luxury. They lost all sense of discipline and humility. Once some rishi came to Dwarka. The arrogant and irreverent Yadava mocked these rishis with a practical joke. They dressed up one of their young men like a woman, and presenting him to the revered guest said, once some rishi came to Dwarka. The arrogant and irreverent Yadavas mocked these rishis with a practical joke. They dressed up one of their young men like a woman, and presenting him to the revered guest said, "O you learned men, tell us whether this lady will have a boy or a girl." The rishi saw through the irreverent joke and said in anger, "This person will give birth to a mace, not a boy or a girl, and that mace will prove to be a Yama to your tribe and destroy you all." The rishis departed after pronouncing this course. The rishis departed after pronouncing this course. The foolish Yadavas were rather perturbed at this unpleasant ending of what they had thought was a good joke. Next day they were in concentration to see that Sambha, the man who had been dressed up in a female clothes, developed labor pains, and lo and behold gave birth to a mace. This filled them with terror because they felt that their end was near, as the rishis had cursed. They deliberated long and finally ground the mace to fine powder, which they scattered in the sea. Thought they had thus disposed of the danger. Nothing happened for some time. Seasons passed. The rain came, and on the beach near where they had strewn the fine dust of the awful club, there sprang up a dense crop of rushes. When the Yadavas saw this, they were curious and amused, for They had forgotten all about the curse of the revered guest. One day, long after the Yadavas went to the beach for a picnic and spent the whole day in dance and drink and revelry, the liquor began to work. At first merry, then pugnacious, they began to talk without restraint, raking up old offences and quarreling. On slight cause with one another. Among the Yadavas, Kritavarma had fought on the side of Kaurava and Satyaki on that of the Pandavas. Would any Kshatriya attack and kill sleeping soldiers, O Kritavarma? You have brought a great and lasting disgrace on our tribe, said Satyaki, taunting Kritavarma, and a number of drunken Yadavas applauded the attack. Kritavarma could not bear the insult. Like a butcher, you slaughtered the great Bhuri Sarvas when seated in a yoga after his right hand was cut off, and you, coward, dare to taunt me, he exclaimed, and a number of the revelers, revelers joined him and began to scoff at Satyaki for his barbarous deed. Soon all the Yadavas were in the quarrel on one side or the other, and presently from words they came to blows which swiftly developed into a free fight. Satyaki, with his sword drawn, sprang upon Kritavarma and cut his head off, exclaiming, "Here is the end of the coward who killed sleeping soldiers." Others immediately fell upon Satyaki with their drinking bowls and pots and anything they could lay hands upon. Pradyumna, Krishna's son, joined the fray to rescue Satyaki, and there was a desperate melee in which both Satyaki and Pradyumna were killed. Krishna knew that the destined hour was come, and plucking the tall rushes which fringed the beach, laid about him with them indiscriminately. This led to every one of the Yadavas doing the same, and there was a great indiscriminate slaughter. The Rishi's curse had begun to work. The rushes that had grown out of the mace became each one of them a mace as it was plucked by the doomed men in their unreasonable fury. They used them on one another with deadly effect, and soon all of them were destroyed in this drunken brawl. Balrama, who was seeing all this, was overwhelmed with shame and disgust and sank to the ground. He gave up his life as he lay in a yoga trance. Balrama passed away into the ocean in a stream of light which issued from his forehead like a silver serpent. Thus ended the avatar of Narayana in Balrama. Krishna saw all his people thus destroy themselves as predestined. When he saw the passing of Balrama, he roamed about in deep meditation in the wilderness, pondering on the completion of his avatar. The time has come for me to go, he said to himself, and lying on the ground fell asleep. In that wooded beach, a hunter prowling for a game saw Vasudeva lying on the ground among the shrubs. From a distance, the hunter mistook Krishna for a wild animal resting on the ground. He bent his bow and shot an arrow at the prostrate figure, which, piercing his foot in the instep, went full through his body. Thus did the great Vasudeva depart from the world of men. Yudhishthir's final trial. The Hastinapur came the sad things. The Hastinapur came the sad tidings of death. To Hastinapur came the sad tidings of the death of Vasudeva and the destruction of the Yadavas. When the Pandavas received the news, they lost all remaining attachment to the life on earth. They crowned Parikshit, son of Abhimanyu, as the emperor, and the five brothers left the city with Draupadi. They went out on pilgrimage, visiting holy places, and finally reached the Himalayas. A dog joined them somewhere and kept them company all along. And the seven of them climbed the mountains on their last pilgrimage. As they toiled up to the mountain path, one by one fell exhausted and died. The youngest succumbed first. Draupadi, Sahadeva, and Nakul were released from the burden of the flesh one after another. Then followed Arjuna and then great Bhima too. Yudhishthir saw his dear ones fall and die, yet serenely he went on, not giving way to grief, for the light of truth burned bright before him. Yudhishthir knew what was shadow and what was substance. The dog still followed Yudhishthir. The lesson enforced by the poet in this episode of the dog is that Dharma is the only constant companion in life's journey. It was Dharma who, in the shape of dog, followed Yudhishthir up the wearisome mountain path when his brothers and wife had gone, leaving him alone. Finally, when he reached a great height, Indra appeared in his chariot. Your brothers and Draupadi have arrived before you. You have lagged behind, burdened with your body. Ascend my chariot and go with me in the flesh. I have come to take you, said Indra. But when Yudhishthir went up to take his seat in Indra's chariot, the dog also climbed up. No, no, said Indra, there is no place for dog in Swarga, and pushed the dog away. Then there is no room for me either, said Yudhishthir, and refused to enter the heavenly chariot if he had to leave his faithful companion behind. That is so good. See, the most important thing is to be faithful with the one who was with you in your bad times. Dharma had come to test Yudhishthir's loyalty, and he was pleased with his son's conduct. The dog vanished from sight. Yudhishthir reached Swarg. There he saw Duryodhan. The Kuru prince was seated on a beautiful throne, and he shone with splendor of the sun, and around him stood in attendance the goddess of heroism and other angels. He did not see his brother or anyone else. Yudhishthir was astonished. Where are my brothers, ye denizens of Swarg? Asked Yudhishthir. This man of greed, of limited vision is here. I do not care to spend my time in his company. We were driven by the man's envy and spite to kill friends and relatives. We stood tied by Dharma to inaction when, before our eyes, innocent Panchali, united to us in sacred wedlock, was dragged to the hall of assembly and insulted under the orders of this wicked man. I cannot bear the sight of this man. Tell me, where are my brothers? I wish to go where they are. Saying this, Yudhishthir averted his eyes from where Duryodhan was seated in glory. Then Narada, the heavenly rishi, encyclopedic knowledge, smiled disapprovingly at Yudhishthir and said, Renowned prince, this is not right. In Swarg we honor no ill will. Oh, we harbor no ill will. Do not speak in this manner about Duryodhan. The brave Duryodhan has attained his present state by force of Kshatriya Dharma. It is not right to let the things of flesh stay in the mind and breed ill will. Do follow the law and stay here with King Duryodhan. There is no place in Swarg for hatred. You have arrived here with your human body, so it is that you have these inappropriate feelings. Discard them, son. Yudhishthir replied, O sage Duryodhan, who did not know right from wrong, who was a sinner, who caused sufferings to good men, who fed enmity and anger, and who brought death to the countless men, has attained the Swarg of warriors. Where is the region of greater glory which must be the abode of my brave and good brothers and Draupadi? I am eager to see them, and Karna, and also all the friends and prince who gave up their lives in the battle for me. I do not see them here. I desire to meet again Virata, Draupada, Drishtaketu, and Shikandin, the Panchala prince. I long to see the dear ones of Draupadi and Abhimanyu. I do not see them here. Where are they? Who threw their bodies into blazing fire of the battle for my sake, like ghee in the sacrifice? I do not see any of them here. Where are they all? My place must be among them. At close of the battle, my mother Kunti wanted me to offer liberation for Karna also. When I think of it, even now grief overwhelms me. In ignorance of his being my own blood brother, I caused Karna to be slain. I am eager to see him. Bhima dearer to me than life. Arjuna was like Indra himself. The twins Nakula and Sadev and our dear Panchali steadfast in dharma. I long to see and be with them all. I do not wish to be in heaven, for what good is it for me to be here, away from my brothers, wherever they may be? That is my Swarga, not this place. The angels who heard this replied, O Yudhishthir, if you indeed desire to be with them, by all means you may go at once. There is no need to delay. And they ordered an attendant to take Yudhishthir. So the messenger proceeded in front, and Yudhishthir followed him. As they went along, it soon became dark, and in that gathering gloom could be dimly seen things weird and revolting. He waded through slippery slime of blood and offal. The path was strewn with carrion and bones and dead men's hair. Worms were wriggling everywhere, and there was an insufferable stench in the air. He saw mutilated human bodies everywhere. Yudhishthir was horrified and confused. A thousand thoughts tortured his mind as he proceeded. How far have we go to yet? How far have we go to? How how far have we go? How far have we to go yet on this road? What indeed? Where indeed are my brothers? Tell me, my friend. He inquired of the messenger in deep anguish. Even I am feeling that anguish. The messenger quietly replied, If you so desire, we may turn back. The foul odors of this place were so sickening that for a moment Yudhishthir was minded to go back. But just then on, as if divining his intention, vaguely familiar voices rose all round in loud lamentation. Oh Dharamputra, do not go back. Stay here for a few minutes at least. Your presence has given us momentary momentary relief from torture. As you came, you have brought with you a whiff of air, so sweet and pure that we have found a little relief in our agony. Son of Kunti, the very sight of you gives us comfort and mitigates our suffering. Oh, stay. Be it here forever, so short time. Do not go back. While you are here, we enjoy a respite in our torture. Thus the voices pleaded, hearing the loud lamentations, and thus came from all round him. Yudhishthir stood in painful bewilderment, overwhelmed with pity at the poignant anguish in faintly remembered voices. He exclaimed, Alas, wretched souls, who are you that lament like this? Who are you here? Lord, I am Karna, said a voice. I am Bhima, said another. I am Arjuna, cried a third voice. Draupadi, cried another voice in piteous tone. I am Nakula, I am Sahadeva. We are Draupadi's son, and so on came mournful voices from all around, till the accumulated pain was more that Yudhishthir could bear. What sin what sin indeed have these been guilty of? Cried he. Dhritarashtra's sons Duryodhan, what goods what good deeds did he do to sit like Mahendra in the heaven while these are in hell? Am I dreaming or am I awake? Is my mind deranged? Have I gone crazy? Overwhelmed by anger, Yudhishthir cursed the gods and denounced Dharma. He turned to the angel attendant and said sharply, Go back to your masters. I shall stay here where my dear brothers, for no other sins than devotion to me, are consigned to the tortures of hell. Let me be with them. The messenger went back and conveyed to Indra that Yudhishthir had said. Thus passed the 13th part of a day. Then Indra and Yama appeared before Yudhishthir, where he stood in anguish. When they came, the darkness rolled away and the horrid sight disappeared. The sinners and their sufferings were no more to be seen. A fragrant blaze Breeze blew us. A fragrant breeze blew as Yama, the god of Dharma, smiled on his son Yudhishthir. Wisest of men, this is the third time I have tested you. You chose to remain in hell for the sake of your brothers. It is inevitable that kings and rulers must go through hell, if only for a while. So it was that for the 13th part of the day you too were doomed to suffer the pangs of hell. Neither the illustrious Sabyasachi, Arjuna, nor your beloved brother Bhima is really in hell, nor Karna, the just, nor anyone else who you thought had been consigned to suffering. It was an illusion designed to test you. This is not hell but Swarga. Do you not see there Narada, whose travels cover the three worlds, cease grieving? Thus said Yama to Dharmaputra, who thereupon was transfigured. The mortal frame was gone, and he was a god. With the disappearance of human body also disappeared all traces of anger and hatred. Then Yudhishthir saw there Karna and all his brothers, and the son of Dhritarashtra also serene and free from anger, all having the state of the gods. In this reunion, Yudhishthir at last found peace and real happiness. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hello, friends. So, with this, we have finished reading the Mahabharata and absolutely in 21 days. And I am thankful to all the viewers who have recently started reading along with me. I am so happy and peaceful because now, whenever there is a moral or ethical dilemma, this Mahabharata can really help. Because sometimes we don't understand what is right, what is wrong, and we lack wisdom. And today we read a very beautiful thing where Yudhishthir told to, I think that relates to almost all of us. Fate willed it and engulfed us all in confusion of mind, and events happened which were not in our control. So many a times, we are predestined to go through something which are not in our control. Of I don't know if we have free will also or not, because sometimes it seems that we have free will, but our minds are always in confusion. And you know it's like a बुद्धि भ्रष्ट होना जब बुरा समय आता है तो, but one should not disregard dharma in that suffering also. So these are the great teachings of Mahabharata, to stay calm, to stay composed, and also to be faithful with whom you like, who was with you, to be like you have to be loyal also. Today we read about the dog incident, right? That Yudhishthir wanted to be with his dog because he was faithfully following him, like he was there with him during the tough path or climb to the mountain. He was with him all along the path. And when Indra told him that this dog cannot enter into this chariot, Yudhishthir also refused to enter in that chariot. But Yudhishthir was faithful towards his companion. So, this teaches us that we should be faithful, we should not be deceiving people around us, we should not be greedy, We should not be drunk with powers, illusions. We should always be meditating on Krishna for the clarity and guidance. And with this, I am going to end with Krishna's name. Let's take him, let's remember him. Firstly, I think I have also written one of, not I have written, but I have taken one of the bhajan. जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, अपने सुख दुख को हे ठाकुर मैं रो रो कर तुम्हें सुनाता हूँ. I think one should tell his sufferings and happiness to only Krishna, because Krishna knows very well what's going in our life. Because when we cry in front of other people, they may mistook our crying or as a pity, or they may not understand our emotion. They may mistakenly think that we are crying because we want something from them, but it may be because we are feeling something. So जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, अपने सुख दुख को हे ठाकुर मैं रो रो कर तुम्हें सुनाता हूँ. तुम मेरे हो मैं तेरा हूँ, बस और नहीं कुछ याद मुझे, ये ध्यान सदा मेरे मन में रहे, ये विनय सुनाने आया हूँ. जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ. फूलों में तुम्हारी खुशबू है, पत्तों में तुम्हारी हस्ती है, पर फूल नहीं है पास मेरे, बस दो नयन चढ़ाने आया हूँ. जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ, अपने सुख दुख को हे ठाकुर मैं रो रो कर तुम्हें सुनाता हूँ. तुम मेरे प्यारे सावरिया, मेरा तुमसे हमेशा नाता है, नहीं और मेरा कोई सुनता, मैं तुम्हें सुनाने आया हूँ. जब याद तुम्हारी आती है मैं तेरे दर पर आता हूँ. And there is also, as Mahakumbh Mela is going on, माघ मकरगत रवि जब होई, तीरथ पतही आवे सब कोई, देव धनुष किन्नर नरश्रेणी, सादर मझई सकल त्रिवेणी. And here we learnt about the greatness of chanting. When we chant Krishna's name or Rama's name or anyone whom you believe, they provide you clarity when you are confused. भाव कुभय अनख आलस हो, नाम जपत मंगल दिसी दसहु, सुमिरो सो नाम राम गुण गाथा, करहु नाथ रघुनाथई माथा. अच्छे भाव से, बुरे भाव से, क्रोध से, आलस्य से, किसी तरह से भी नाम जपने से 10 दिशाओं में कल्याण होता है. उसी राम नाम का स्मरण करके और रघुनाथ को मस्तक नवाकर मैं राम के गुणों का वर्णन करती हूँ. आरंभ है प्रचंड बोलो मस्तकों के झुंड, आज जंग की घड़ी की तुम गुहार दो, आन बान शान या की जान का हो दान, आज एक धनुष के बाण पे उतार दो. मन करे सो प्राण दे, जो मन करे सो प्राण ले, वही तो एक सर्वशक्तिमान है. विश्व की पुकार है, ये भागवत का सार है, कि युद्ध ही तो वीर का प्रमाण है. कौरवों की भीड़ हो या पांडवों का नीर हो, जो लड़ सका है वही तो महान है. जीत की हवस नहीं, किसी पे कोई बस नहीं, क्या जिंदगी है ठोकरों पर मार दो. मौत अंत है नहीं तो मौत से भी क्यों डरे, ये जाके आसमान में दहाड़ दो. असुतो माँ सदगम्या, तामसो माँ ज्योतिर्गम्या, मृत्युर्माँ अमृताम गम्या. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lead me from the untruth to the truth. Lead me from the darkness to light. Lead me from death to immortality. Om peace peace peace. जहाँ ले चलोगे वहीं मैं चलूँगा, जहाँ नाथ रख लोगे वहीं मैं रहूँगा. ये जीवन समर्पित चरण में तुम्हारी, तुम ही मेरे सर्वस्व, तुम ही प्राण प्यारी. तुम्हें छोड़कर नाथ किससे कहूँगा, जहाँ ले चलोगे मैं वहीं चलूँगा. ना कोई उलाहना ना कोई अर्जी, कर लो करा लो जो है तेरी मर्जी. कहना भी होगा तो तुम ही से कहूँगा, जहाँ ले चलोगे वहीं मैं चलूँगा. दयानाथ दयानिये मेरी अवस्था, तेरे हाथ अब मेरी सारी व्यवस्था. जो भी कहोगे तुम वही मैं करूँगा, जहाँ ले चलोगे वहीं मैं चलूँगा. ईश्वर परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह, अनादिर आदिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम. So Krishna is the cause of all the causes. He is the prime cause of all the causes. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desires and abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose tree, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May we all be in peace and attain this spiritual enlightenment through our holy scriptures. Thank you, my dear friends, for being with me in this journey. I hope you will be reading with me again. I hope this will help you also, and I'm very, very sorry for my reading mistakes, my pronunciation mistakes. Please forgive me because I can only seek your forgiveness. And we are very thankful to C. Rajagopalachari for telling us this Mahabharata in his style, which was at least easy to read. Mahabharata retold by C. Rajagopalachari. Thank you so much. Thanks to all the people, and thank you to Krishna for letting me read this. And thank you, dear all, for your attention and your views. And in the last, now again with Hanuman Chalisa Doha, Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj, Nij Man Mukru Sudhari, Barnau Raghubar Bimal Jasu, Jo Dayaku Falchari, having polished the mirror of my heart with the dust of my Guru's lotus feet, I recite the divine fame of the greatest king of Raghukul dynasty, which bestows us with the fruit of all the four efforts. Buddhihin tanu janike sumiro pavan kumar bal buddhi vidya dehu mohi harahu kales bikar. Knowing that this mind of mine has less intelligence, I remember the son of wind who, granting me strength, wisdom, and all kinds of knowledge, removes all my sufferings and shortcomings. निश्चय प्रेम प्रतीत ते बिने करे सम्मान ते के कारण सकल शुभ सिद्ध करे हनुमान। जय हनुमान संत हितकारी सुन लीजिए, प्रभु अर्ज हमारी जन के काज विलम्ब न कीजिए, आतुर दौर महासुख दीजिए। नमस्ते नरसिम्हाया। Thank you so much. May we all be in happiness and peace. May we all be in happiness and peace, and may we find contentment in ourselves. Hare Krishna. Thank you.